On a crisp Thursday night in late November, two Sun Belt programs step into the spotlight with their seasons hanging in the balance. Here at Beyond the Box Score, we don't just watch games, we dig into the details, the psychology, the momentum, and the matchups that shape everything. And tonight, these two college football games offer more than numbers. They offer opportunity. Stick with me until the end, because by the time this video wraps, you'll have every key insight you need for 4 sharp picks on tonight's slate. Before we jump into the first matchup, make sure you're subscribed to the channel and tap that bell so you don't miss out. With games happening every day, timing matters just as much as research, and here you get the edge before the lines move. Now, let's drop into a West Division showdown in the Sun Belt, a meeting that feels equal parts urgency and tradition, as Louisiana travels into Arkansas for a matchup against Arkansas State. It's a game wrapped in history and shaped by two programs heading into November with postseason dreams still flickering. Louisiana walks into this contest lifted by momentum, rare momentum in a season where stability has been hard to find. Their last game, a wild 42-39 win over Texas State on November 8th, didn't just reset their season, it revived a team that had lost its footing. Coming off a bye week, they arrive fresh but still facing the reality of a 4-6 record and a troubling trend of shaky road performances. Their offense has caught fire lately, averaging 36.5 points over its last 2 outings, with at least 31 points scored in 4 of their last 7 games. Against the spread, they've stabilized too, going 4-2 over their past 6 appearances. Across the field, Arkansas State also emerges from a bye but with a sting in their mouth. Their November 8th matchup against Southern Miss was the story of a team that did almost everything right, except hold on to the ball. They piled up 456 total yards, earned 28 first downs, converted 9 of 15 third down tries, and still lost 27-21 because 6 turnovers swallowed all that progress. 5 interceptions, a self-inflicted wound more damaging than any opponent could deliver. Yet even in that loss, the confidence remains. The Red Wolves sit at 5-5 overall, 4-2 in conference play, and with bowl eligibility just 1 win away, they now return home, where their football tends to sharpen, where their structure feels strongest, and where they've delivered consistency all season. At the center of that consistency is quarterback Jalen Rayner. A steady hand, a calm processor, a thrower who reads spacing, takes what defenses give him, and strikes the moment coverage breaks. With 2,454 passing yards and 13 touchdowns this season, he's the steady pulse of this offense. His connection with Corey Rucker is the heartbeat, a duo that forms the spine of Arkansas State's most productive stretches. If you've watched the Red Wolves lately, you've seen that rhythm, that quiet assurance that no matter the situation, this pair can move the chains. And Louisiana, well, this is where things get complicated for them. The secondary is thin, stretched by injuries and suspensions, and their run defense has been giving up more than 170 yards per game. That lack of depth doesn't just show up on the stat sheet, it shows up in the fourth quarter when legs get heavy, rotations shrink, and mistakes start creeping in. Arkansas State knows that, and they know that with Rayner coming off a 331-yard performance, this matchup gives them space to throw, space to balance the offense, space to dictate tempo on their terms. The history between these teams leans Louisiana's way. The Ragin' Cajuns hold a 2-9-2-1 advantage, including a dominant 55-19 win the last time they met on November 9, 2024. They've won 6 of the last 7 meetings and covered 4 of those. They've reached 27 or more points in every one of those 6 wins. Those patterns matter, but patterns shift, and this season's version of Louisiana doesn't bring the stability those numbers once implied. Because while Louisiana is riding 2 impressive wins, the broader season tells a different story. A team struggling with third down defense. A team leaking yards on the ground. A team that has needed penalties, turnovers, and opponent misfires to survive in recent weeks. Their recent surge could be a turning point, but it could just as easily be an anomaly. Arkansas State, meanwhile, has covered 7 spreads this year and enters this matchup on a 5-game ATS streak. At home, they've been at their sharpest. They have motivation stacked in layers, a bowl bid, a senior night honoring 24 players, and the chance to steady the course after a mistake-filled loss. And even with last week's miscues, the foundation of who they are remains strong. A disciplined air attack, a balanced pace, and a structure that rarely changes under pressure. When you pull everything together, matchup advantages, home comfort, defensive vulnerabilities, postseason incentive, and consistency, the picture becomes clearer. As the first pick in this matchup, Arkansas State to win and cover the spread is the play. Their structure matches Louisiana's weaknesses. Their quarterback is in form, and their defense only needs to perform to its standard to tilt this game. Now let's shift to the total, because this is where the rhythm of each team really matters. Louisiana has hit the over in 6 of 10 games, but those overs came in streaks. 2 unders, then 3 overs, then 2 unders, now 3 straight overs. Arkansas State, on the other hand, has leaned heavily to the under this season, staying below the number in 8 of 10 games and 4 of 5 at home. 6 of the last 9 meetings between these programs also finished under. Odds makers set this total in the mid-50s, expecting a steady scoring pace. But a deeper dive paints a quieter picture. Louisiana averages around 25 points and gives up about 27. Their approach leans on long drives, ground control, and steady tempo. Arkansas State averages just 21 per game while allowing 32, and although they run at a fast pace, that pace doesn't translate to touchdowns. Drives stall. Field goals replace red zone conversions. Efficiency breaks down before the finish. The matchup fits an under. Louisiana's run-first offense bleeds time, even in stalled drives. Arkansas State's style produces extended possessions that don't always cash in. Both teams make enough mistakes to mute scoring opportunities. And neither defense needs to dominate, they only need to be themselves. So for the second pick in this matchup, the under the projected total is the call. If you want more breakdowns like this, deeper insights, sharper angles, and predictions rooted in detail and logic, make sure you're subscribed to Beyond the Box Score. Drop a comment below with the next college football matchup you want dissected, and I'll cover it in full. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.